So I've been asked by a few people to basically do some kind of audio sampling of this guitar. Currently, my home studio is kind of inoperable. I'm down a set of monitors. They're my only set of monitors, and so I can't really do any audio editing right now, unfortunately. So this is, I think, the best I can do for the time being. Anyway, what this is a Squier Strat that I have converted to be a C-tune baritone. I built a number of these conversions over the years, and I really enjoy making them because they sound cool and they give people the ability to have a pretty cheap baritone guitar that also has a tremolo on it. And so, like, if you're into like surf rock, rockabilly, you know, those are the kind of genres that this is just really good on. Country western too. So, like, if you're really into listening to like playing stuff like Dwayne Eddy, this is a really good guitar to have. So basically what is involved with this is that I need to make a new nut for these guitars, and I need to do a little bit of work on the bridge. In order to get a 25.5 inch scale to intonate properly to baritone tuning, I need to do a little bit of work to move the intonation point of these saddles back just a little bit and further than they normally would go, which is fine. These bridges operate normally. You intonate them and you set them up just like any other Strat, but they do have to be modified that way, and I can only do it with certain types of Strat bridge, usually the kind that are found typically on the cheaper guitars, which is why I love doing this with like Squiers and any kind of like overseas knockoff of a Strat typically will have the kind of bridge that I can work with, which is the kind of the cast saddles. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this through in some of the different settings and a couple of different styles. I'm not the best guitar player, just to caution you. This is just kind of give you an idea of what this guitar sounds like. So here we go. So this is in bridge position. That's that sound. Here's in between the bridge position and the middle position. And here we have the middle position. Going up to between the middle and neck pickups. Then lastly, we have the neck position here. So basically, this kind of opens up some options for you in terms of your palette that you're painting with regards to your where the deep stuff is in your mix to where the high stuff is in your mix. I don't know about other people, but I'm not that great a bass player, and so one of the things that I really love about having a baritone guitar, in a home studio setting, is that this is a little bit more comfortable for me to add kind of a bass line or a bass track to a recording without having to necessarily get good at bass playing. So what I'll tend to do is do some kind of finger pick pattern here with these lower strings, and then over that I'll do my do whatever the guitar is doing. Or you could use these as just a really hard, low driving guitar. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Hillbilly Moon Explosion, but if you listen to some of their stuff, and they use a baritone guitar pretty frequently, and it's just this like really driving force in their tracks. And I've seen a lot of bands use the guitar that way, including like Dwayne Eddy. Again, I'll go back to, he played baritone guitar pretty frequently, and that's how he's able to get these really deep tones. Not necessarily using open sevenths like that, but So yeah, these are pretty cool rigs. I really enjoy having these around. I really enjoy building them. And once in a while I'll build these where I've got all kinds of crazy switching mods too. This one doesn't have the switching mods that I'll sometimes add to instruments like this, but I have done some improvement to the wiring in this guitar, namely in doing some grounding work and some shielding work to improve its quietness when plugged in. But yeah, it's a really rad guitar. This thing plays great, sounds great. And the cool thing about Strats too, even if you're not necessarily married to the idea of keeping all these electronics, these are extremely modular guitars, and so if you decided that you wanted to swap these pickups out sometime, it's really easy to do that on these guitars. The same thing with basically all of the electronics, pick guard, what have you. You can just mix and match parts on these. And so kind of I think about these things as a chassis. This has been a chassis that's converted to a baritone guitar, and it's already a great playing instrument. But yeah, if you wanted to add Seymour Duncans or DiMarzios or whatever to this to kind of get the sound that you're looking for, this guitar is ripe for it. Most of the major work has already been done in terms of the conversion. So this has been Drew Jones of Drew's Guitar Shop in Seattle, Washington. I appreciate you watching. There's a link to my website in the description, and there's also a link to the Reverb page where this guitar is being sold. And if that link is still going to an active sale, that means that this guitar is still available.